Bayern Munich 4, Manchester United 3, a flattering result after a bad performance from Manchester United at the Allianz Arena in our first group game of this season's UEFA Champions League. 4-3, what does the result reflect? Did we try to fight and try to grind something from a very difficult atmosphere? Or was it another day of a mess? What exactly did we learn from that game? As Rasmus HOJLUND did score his first goal for Manchester United, the first thing I observed in this game is that the first time Marcus Rashford chose to pass the ball to Rasmus HOJLUND, it was a goal. How about he keeps doing more of those? We saw some moments of selfishness from him. We'll talk about those in a bit. But the talk after the game was Andre ONANA, the shortstopper who came in to replace David De Gea, and how he was so bitter with himself after a poor performance in especially the first half. He came out in the second half and made so many saves because United could have conceded about 8 goals in that game hadn't it been for the so many saves from Andre ONANA. I think he had about 4 or 5 crucial saves only in the second stanza, but the terrible one he had made in the first half, failing to stop an easy ball. And guys, these things happen in football, but the truth is, it is worrying how much we are leaking goals, and a few of those can be blamed on Onana. He himself came out and said he takes the responsibility for us not winning. Of course, he cannot exactly carry the entire fault, but maybe that is a goal from Leroy Sané that could have easily been stopped, perhaps changed things around for Manchester United. United, like I said in my preview video, we start well in the first 20 minutes, and after that, everything just starts falling apart for us. And again, in my last video, when I was trying to tell you what United could do to try and beat Bayern, I told you we had to grow into the game, not try to get off the blocks first, but that is exactly what we did. And after 20 or 25 minutes, we could not play football anymore. And again, same script, Bayern Munich ran riot on us. We made Bayern Munich players look so comfortable. Each player, Musiala, who is a brilliant player, Musiala was doing things and showboating, enjoying himself. Serge Gnabry was so confident on the ball. Leroy Sané was enjoying himself. Harry Kane was enjoying himself. I mean, we made them feel so comfortable, I think, for the most part of the game. Yes, we tried to fight, and I gave it up to United. Casemiro, who had a fair game, a decent game, perhaps one of his better games for Manchester United, but mostly because he scored goals, but also I felt he covered a lot of ground. He was so busy. I think he did not show us so many signs of fatigue, but we obviously can expect more from him. But he did score 2 goals for United. 4-3 it was, but again, the moment that we are all hoping for, and indeed it came, and I did predict this one, that Rasmus HOJLUND would get his debut, his first goal for Manchester United. It came, and it was quite at a difficult time because we were trying to fight and come back into the game, but we score, and just in a few minutes they are scoring again. So it was ups and downs for United. But for me, I saw one thing is Marcus Rashford has got to work on his relationship with Rasmus HOJLUND. Even the boss spoke about it in our pre-match comments. But also the fact that Galatasaray and Copenhagen drew. It was an interesting game. The way in which, the manner in which Galatasaray came from behind to salvage a point at home was quite interesting. But you look at the group, and of course we are rock bottom now, but it's early days, and I'm thinking after going in the Allianz Arena, and regardless how we managed to fumble and grind a 4-3 loss, that could have been worse easily. I think there is hope that we can actually properly make it out of this group. I think the next games we have, games against teams like Copenhagen, teams like Galatasaray, these should be teams we can be able to confidently beat home and away. And it may not sound easy to think of because of how we've been performing largely, but my hope is that after this, we should be improving. The reality is we lack depth in this squad. I mean, with players, so many players injured, you saw the bench. We reached a point when players who are warming up were Johnny Evans, Scott McTominay. You're looking for goals, but you've got Scott McTominay, Johnny Evans, 3 goalkeepers on the bench. We've got Garnacho, who I thought came in and tried to change the tempo of the game and try to give us something going forward. In fact, he was involved in that beautiful goal that we scored. Should have been the third, the second goal, I think, which was a good, build up, good passes played here and there. That brought a bit of hope, but. That said, I think we still have a long way to go to organize and put our house in order. Bayern beat us, but I don't think they obliterated us. This is one of the better teams in Europe right now. I think Real Madrid and Bayern are two of the better teams, and Man City, of course, are two of the better teams in Europe right now. My thinking is they are not generations ahead of us. They are not. You can see that yes, they beat us, they dominated us, but they are not so far ahead of us. I'm feeling like we are close to looking like a proper organized team, but when it goes bad, it's too bad. It's ugly, and I wonder how we are going to get that balance. I wonder what Erik ten Hag has got to do. But probably if all players are fit, Sofian Amrabat is fit, I'm thinking there will be balance and stability in that midfield. I'm thinking if Marcus Rashford clicks well with Rasmus Højlund, I'm thinking we will see a lot more goals, because the reality is consistently Rasmus Højlund has been making the right runs but never given the ball. I think he reached a point and got frustrated because he was running and running and running, and they were never finding and locating him, which is bad. And if the best teams in the world, players have got to pass the ball to the best strikers in the world. I remember this with Robin van Persie when he joined Manchester United. Wayne Rooney was told, all players were told, now things have changed, start feeding Robin van Persie. That is exactly what Erik ten Hag every day should be telling his players, especially Marcus Rashford, that he should be feeding Rasmus Højlund, because if you cannot play for him, for the striker, then certainly we can't do anything. But Onana, you can rate his performance. I think for me, out of 10, I would give him, whereas he made a mistake, I think I would give him a cool 7. Yes, I think he was one of our better players, especially in that second half. They were all over us like a body rush. He saved us for some time. Those mistakes do happen. Even David De Gea, and people are beginning already to make comparisons between Onana and David De Gea because of how poor a start it has been to his season. I think you can't really blame Onana for so many over 10 goals we've conceded in just a few games. I think Onana has first of all saved us, I think, a lot. He has saved a lot of goals. I think United has altogether been looking bad from the midfield. Our midfield has been easy to penetrate. You can't blame that on Onana. Our defenders have been caught off guard a couple of times. You can't blame that on Onana. So for me, I'm thinking, yes, he had moments of mistakes that, of course, I love how he bounced back, though, because the mistake was done in the first half. But in the second stanza, you thought that he came back, and I think he was nearly inch perfect. I think he was perfect with almost everything he did. Yes, he conceded more goals, but I felt he saved us from even more difficult goals. So his reflexes can improve. I think I still have hope in Andre ONANA. I don't want to put him down. But the general dissection of Manchester United is that we've got a long way to go. We've got to work on our injuries. I think that is how we are going to see improvement. Should we call for the head of Erik ten Hag? No. We can't be calling for the head of Erik ten Hag, because whatever improvement we are seeing is down to him. There is a lot of mess at that club, and Erik ten Hag is trying to keep things together. He's trying everything in his power to ensure that we stay afloat, which is exactly not an easy thing. Now, Sergio Reguilón is a serious baller, guys. Reguilón is a baller. I'm thinking he was one of our, if not our best players. Him, Onana. Again, Onana saved for the mistake he made. I think he had a good game generally. But Reguilón, and I think has proved consistently, by the way, even after his debut. I thought he has been playing so well. He makes the left wing look threatening for Manchester United. And that is something we've lacked, because him and Marcus Rashford give us something different going forward. But his work rate as well, for me, is quite commendable. So that's another important thing to note for me from this game. But what I know is that when it clicks, it will work. When will it click? That should be the multi-million-dollar question. But That was it. Manchester United 4, rather 3, Bayern Munich 4. Go in the comment section and give me your verdict of this game. We did not play well at all. The result flattered us for a bit, but we had the spirit. We were fighting until the very last minute. We were fighting, and that's the spirit of Manchester United. And that's what you want to see at the Allianz Arena against a big club like Bayern Munich. Give it to the players. Casemiro on a brace, Rasmus HOJLUND on his first goal, with his first goal for Manchester United. What improvements did you get from that game? Are you impressed that with the weak team we had, we are able to grind something like that? Let me know what you think in the comment section. My name is Webb. Subscribe. I will be catching you later.